Welcome to the dark heart of Port Charles, where secrets bleed, lies explode, and no one is ever truly safe. In General Hospital, every truth comes with a twist, and every twist can be deadly. What stands out to me most is how Drew has become this quiet storm waiting to break. From everything we have seen, he knows the full truth about Willow's connection with Sidwell. He was right there, trapped in his own body, but his mind was sharp as ever. He heard every word of their arguments, every threat, every plan they whispered about using his house and manipulating situations for their own gain. I have always admired Drew's resilience, and this storyline proves once more why he has always been one of the strongest characters on the canvas. Even paralyzed and limited to blinking, he was gathering evidence that could change everything. Felicia's involvement feels so right to me. She has always been the heart of the hospital, protecting patients and fighting for what is fair. When she stepped in to help Drew access better communication tools, it gave me chills in the best way. No longer stuck with just eye movements, Drew can now express himself more clearly, and that changes the game completely. I keep asking myself, how long can Sidwell keep control when the man he tried to silence is about to speak volumes? The answer seems clear, not much longer. Felicia, and even hints of support from others in the PCPD, are building toward a real rescue plan. This is the kind of teamwork and quiet heroism that makes General Hospital special. I have my own thoughts about Willow here, and they might be a little stronger than some fans feel. I used to root for her growth and happiness, especially after everything she went through. But her choices lately have been so disappointing. Working with Sidwell, drugging Drew, and trying to hide it all while playing the concerned wife crossed a line that feels irreversible. The show has made it clear she cannot be retried for shooting Drew, but that does not protect her from the rest. Drugging him, falsifying medical records to claim he had a stroke, and her political schemes with Sidwell are all fair game. When Drew finally reveals what he heard, including conversations involving Valentine, Jack Brennan, and even Nina's attempts to shield Willow, the walls are going to come crashing down. One thing I love about this plot is how it shows different sides of justice in Port Charles. Chase turning down the chief of staff position to return to detective work feels authentic to his character. He wants to do real police work again, and I suspect that decision will put him right in the middle of gathering evidence against Willow and Sidwell. It makes me wonder, will Chase be the one to finally connect all the dots that Drew cannot say out loud yet? I think the answer is yes, and it is going to be satisfying to watch. Drew's future moves are what excite me most. He is not the same man who was manipulated before. He has lost interest in reconciling with Willow, and honestly, who could blame him? The trust is shattered, especially when it comes to the children. I do not see him allowing Willow anywhere near Scout without a serious fight. Some might say this is too harsh, but after being betrayed so deeply, Drew deserves to protect his family fiercely. I have seen many redemption arcs on this show, but this one feels different. Willow's actions were calculated, and the consequences should match that weight. Drew waiting patiently for the right moment to strike, both legally and in every other sense, builds such incredible tension. I keep thinking about how Sidwell underestimated Drew. He thought the drugs would keep him silent forever, but he did not count on Felicia's determination or Drew's unbreakable will. This new ability to communicate more effectively is going to be the turning point. Imagine the scenes where Drew finally gets to tell his story in detail, every threat, every bribe, every plan Sidwell and Willow made. The courtroom drama that could follow would be pure gold for longtime viewers like me who remember the great trials of the past. Another question I ask myself is whether Nina will stand by Willow when the full truth emerges. Nina has been protective, but even she has limits. The political angles, including threats to cut funding for the WSB, add another layer that could pull in more characters and create alliances we have not seen coming. This is what General Hospital does best, interweaving personal betrayals with larger power struggles. I truly believe we are heading toward one of the most explosive periods for Drew in years. He is ready to break free, reclaim his life, and make sure justice is served. Willow will have to face the reality of her choices, and while I do not enjoy seeing any character completely destroyed, accountability is necessary for the story to feel real. The show has always balanced darkness with hope. And I trust they will do that here too, perhaps with Willow finding some path forward, but only after she truly understands the pain she caused. For fans who have watched for decades, these developments feel rewarding. We have seen Drew fight through so many obstacles, and this chapter feels like a culmination of his strength. The quiet buildup, the secret knowledge he holds, and the support slowly gathering around him create that perfect soap opera anticipation. I cannot wait to see how it all unfolds in the coming weeks. Will Drew get his full voice back in more ways than one? Will Willow's House of Cards finally tumble? I think the answers are coming fast, and they are going to be unforgettable. The story keeps evolving, and every new layer feels like it is building towards something major that will change Port Charles forever. What strikes me most right now is how Joe and Drew have found a fresh adjustment in their situation that changes everything. Joe has always been someone who thinks several steps ahead, and his latest calculations are growing more intricate and far-reaching. This is pushing Willow's potential downfall to new heights. I have seen many villains and flawed characters over the decades, but the way Willow's choices are catching up to her feels particularly intense. Joe's deepening involvement suggests he is not just helping Drew, but weaving a larger plan that could expose every hidden deal and betrayal. It makes me wonder how much longer Willow can keep pretending everything is normal when the net is tightening so carefully around her. At the same time, I cannot ignore the new dangers that Drew is facing. Even as he gains better ways to communicate and gathers his strength, fresh threats are emerging. These new obsessions that Drew is confronting are troubling me as a longtime viewer. It is as if surviving the paralysis and the drugs has brought him face to face with inner demons he never expected. Drew has always been a fighter, but these obsessions feel different, more personal, and consuming. I ask myself whether this new psychological strain will make him stronger in the end, or risk pulling him away from the justice he deserves. From what we have seen, Drew is still laser-focused on the truth about Willow and Sidwell, yet these internal battles add such rich complexity to his character. It reminds me of the great emotional journeys the show has given us in the past, where heroes must overcome not only enemies, but also their own minds. Joe's role in all this continues to impress me. His plans are expanding in ways that feel smart and methodical rather than rushed. He and Drew together represent that classic General Hospital spirit of quiet resilience turning into powerful action. I truly believe this new adjustment between them will be the key that unlocks Drew's full ability to fight back. The way Joe is moving pieces into place raises the stakes for Willow dramatically. Her earlier decisions to align with Sidwell, to drug Drew, and to hide behind false medical records are no longer distant memories. They are becoming active threats to her future, and I suspect the climax will be both satisfying and heartbreaking. As someone who has cheered for Drew through countless trials, I feel protective of him right now. These new obsessions he is facing could test his relationships with everyone, especially the children. I have my own opinion here, and it might be firmer than some fans share. Willow crossed a line that makes it hard for me to hope for her easy redemption. She may not face another trial for the shooting, but the drugging, the falsified stroke diagnosis, and her political schemes with Sidwell are all fair territory for accountability. When Drew finally reveals everything he overheard, including the conversations with Valentine, Jack, and Nina's protective efforts, the truth will hit like a wave. Joe's expanding strategy only makes that moment feel closer and more inevitable. I keep thinking about the balance the show is striking. On one hand, we have the excitement of Drew's growing ability to communicate and the support gathering around him. On the other, these new dangers and obsessions introduce real vulnerability. It keeps the story from feeling too straightforward, which is exactly what makes General Hospital so addictive after all these years. Will Drew's inner struggles slow down his revenge, or will they fuel it even more? I believe the latter, and I cannot wait to see how the writers handle this delicate balance. Felicia's earlier help with better communication tools still resonates strongly with me. It opened the door for everything that is happening now. Combined with Joe's deepening calculations, it creates this wonderful sense of momentum. Willow's ending, as Joe's plan suggests, is being built up carefully. I do not enjoy watching any character spiral completely. But after the pain she caused Drew, some consequences feel necessary for the story to ring true. Longtime fans like me appreciate when the show allows characters to face the weight of their actions rather than letting them escape too easily. Drew's new obsessions add such human depth. Perhaps they stem from the trauma of being trapped in his body while hearing every betrayal. Or maybe they reflect his fierce protectiveness over Scout and the family he wants to reclaim. Whatever the cause, they make his journey more compelling. I have seen Drew evolve from soldier to politician to survivor, and this chapter feels like one of his most layered yet. The dangers he faces now are not just from Sidwell or Willow, but from within. And that raises the emotional temperature of every scene. One question that keeps returning to me is how Chase will fit into Joe's larger plan. His decision to return to detective work already positions him perfectly to help uncover the remaining evidence. When combined with what Drew knows and what Joe is calculating, the pieces are aligning beautifully. This is the kind of interconnected storytelling that has kept me watching for decades. It feels rewarding rather than contrived. I remain hopeful that Drew will emerge from these new obsessions stronger and clearer in his purpose. His patience in waiting for the right moment to strike, both legally and personally, shows tremendous character growth. Willow, meanwhile, seems increasingly isolated as the walls close in. Joe's plans going further only heightens that sense of impending reckoning. I trust the show to handle this with the mix of drama, emotion, and eventual hope that has always defined General Hospital.